Hey there everyone, welcome back to Gamevine, and my name is Dave, and welcome back to another Dwellings of Eldervale video, where I'm going to be breaking down who I like, how I like it, and in what order. Let's do it. As a disclaimer, this was sent to me by Breaking Games. I've said it a lot, but I really do appreciate your support. This has been so much fun for me to go over all the aspects of this game. Now today, we haven't done this. I've been trying to avoid it so I could save it for this video. We're going to go over every one of these races and tell you what their asymmetric power is. It's not vastly different, so it's pretty easy to go over them and take it all in at one time. Though if you have a favorite or one that you want to kind of see more about, you can go to this specific one to the video. It's easy enough to do. As well, we are going to go over the element and what it produces the most and how beneficial that is, and go over the respective monster for each one of the factions, both of them. Now I'll be ranking all the factions, and I'm going to start with number 16 and go up, so you'll see I'll go over the asymmetric powers for the one that I don't like as much, but again, I like all of them. This is just the one that I put at the bottom, and as I go through those color factions, I'll be going over the monsters as well, but there are different giant monsters that I like a little bit more, and I might give off more details for that, but this video more is just to go over the list of the races and how much I like them from 16 to 1. So let's start that now. First things first, let's just take a look and just take it all in of all of the factions with both of their miniatures. We have quite a lot of coolness here, and if I had to really say on looks alone, my favorite faction, just on looks, that's a hard one. These guys are cool. So is the green. I would have to go with the green just because they look so cool. And purple actually looks really cool, but they look very samey. But those are all of them together. Now let's go over the first one. I can't see anything because next we have the Darkness, Cult of the Night Queen. Okay, so the first one in number 16, I guess you can say my least favorite, is the Cult of the Night Queen. Now, I'm only judging this by their asymmetrical power. If I had to do with like the color and production, definitely would be green and teal would be my favorite colors. Purple's a close one behind those two. But we're just going on how these play for me. I played these in solo. I played a lot of them in competitive. So I know what I'm talking about here when it comes to at least how I like to play them. These peoples, when you regroup, your wizard may still activate a tableau card when returning from the underworld. I don't know if I've said that in the rules, but if your characters do go into the underworld, when you regroup them, obviously, as this is saying, you can't put them on a tableau card, but this will allow you to play a dead wizard on there. And also, when you summon, you may unsummon a worker from the ready area instead of paying the resource cost. I don't know, I just didn't find myself using that often, and they look cool, but I don't know. They sit here at number 16 for a reason, and if I had to pair up one of the two miniatures, I definitely would pair this one up. And the detail is just so amazing. Look at the chain links. Hopefully you can see that. Oh yeah, that is just amazing. Oh, I gush over this game so much. Now I did want to show off the stand here, this noisemaker for the black characters. Mine's fit pretty snugly in there, and I don't like taking them out, so I'm not going to put it in. But the two noises that you have are the screaming like lady thing with a whole bunch of hands, and the demons. Wow, she is screaming a lot. Alright, now we have the Stonehelm Dwarfs. Okay, so number 15 here saddens me just a tad bit. The Dwarfs. Now, they are thematic because when they regroup, they get an extra gold, they are mining, and when they have a tool, they get an extra boost to their battle die, which makes sense. They use their hammers. For some reason, playing this in solo went okay, but playing it competitively, I felt like it was lacking some kind of power here. And the miniature here is pretty nice. I like it, and it makes a steel kind of noise here, and that's pretty cool. But I don't know, it just, their powers left me wanting a little bit more. Their pieces look pretty cool. I battle the white and black player in solo mode a lot, so I see these pieces quite a bit. But all in all, it sits here at 15 with a bit of a sigh. I love dwarves, but maybe in another game. Hot, 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 hot. The next one is Fire Witch Goblins. Okay, number 14 here. They are Fire Witch Goblins, the mix of witches and goblins. And their miniature is kind of like this lava rock person here. And the sound effect's pretty cool. Why don't I like them? Well, they're focused on competitive play, and again, I like competitive play, but I play a lot of solo. So their main thing here, Scorching Breath. When your dragon helps win a battle, each defeated opponent must discard a resource. If there's no opponent, well, then you just have a dragon. When your wizard is in battle and you have 4 or more magic cards in your hand, roll 2 additional battle dice. Now that's pretty good, and you could go around just slaying everybody as much as possible. But again, in solo play, you're missing out on an ability, and for me personally, that's why they kind of fall here. Again, the red color and pieces are very nice and vibrant. It's not anything against the art or anything like that, but you know, it stands here at the position of where it is for the reason, like I said. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. And coming in on fire next is Ember Crush Ogres. Okay, so the next one is still a red character, the Ember Crush Ogres, and they have one talent: they smash. That's one of the little blurbs they say in the appendix. It's pretty funny. Their power is just slightly better than the last ones that I've shown, but again, they're all focused about battling, and that's not really my style in this game. I do like to battle every now and then, but because it's not my strength, I don't really go for these guys too much. The workers, they can roll 2 dice. That is pretty good. Each time you win a battle, you get a victory point. I don't feel like that is enough to really make this group over the par of which I am playing to get victory points. It's not enough. 1 point for each battle. You can go out and be a warmonger, but again, it won't work unless there are multiple players. So this is good in competitive games if you want to do that, and the style is easy. It says in the book, and I would agree. That's kind of why it's a little bit lower at 13. So that's what I think about the ogres. Now let's go over to the next ones. And the next one is Servants of the Eye. Okay, so number 12, they are the Servant of the Eye. Now their character makes that noise. I can't get the other sound to make a noise, but they both kind of look like this, so that's fine. Again, I'm pairing up the monsters with what I think would go with each clan. It's not necessarily the case, but again, these are my thoughts. Now they're decent. I like the fact that when you place your dragon, you may move an adjacent unit into the dragon's realm, so you can pull somebody to battle if you want, or you can pull one of your people, just like if you need to get a dwelling down and you need a worker to come to that place, well, you can do that, which is pretty nice. And the miniature is pretty cool. The dice are beautiful. I love these purple dice. The wizard, when you recall your wizard, you may use it to activate an opponent's tableau card. That's pretty cool. It's kind of like mind reading or stealing a little bit, and that doesn't happen often on the asymmetric powers here for the characters, so that's pretty unique, and 12 is a good spot for them, and boy, they are just creepy. Look at all those eyes. Okay, now let's move over to the next one. And the elves come into play next. Okay, so number 11, these are the elves, and they're pretty thematic, and this miniature is one of my favorites. I love his noise. It's like he's growing or uprooting to move. It's just so beautiful. I love it. And these components, yeah, they're green, and yes, they're my favorite. The dragon just looks stellar. Okay, so I like these guys, and they're in their spot because of, at the end of your turn, you may move a wizard to an adjacent realm without triggering a battle. That's okay, he's a sage. But the longbow is the reason why I put him up a little bit higher. Your workers add 1 battle dice to adjacent spots just like your dwellings do. Pretty nice. It's basically them shooting arrows in, which is pretty good. So, nothing special. The art's really cool. They look beautiful, and so does the miniature, or the giant incher, as I'm now calling it. Okay, so let's move over to the next one. And the next one is Rattlings of the Swarm. Okay, so the next one here, the Rattlings of the Swarm, they're kind of swarmy. Each time your worker joins a battle, you gain a sword. So you can do a lot of workers, gain a lot of swords, and be the powerhouse. The dragon here, when you place your dragon, you may use an action on an adjacent realm instead of a realm and the dragon is in. I like that a lot. So sitting here at number 10 is not too bad, and I think it beats out a lot of them for that reason alone. This giant here is, look at those teeth. I mean, the detail on these miniatures are just, I mean, I feel bad calling them miniatures because they're like giant inchers. That doesn't roll off the tongue as well, so miniatures is going to have to do. Let's see, that's pretty much it. Okay, let's move on over to the next one. Up next is the Pirates of Nightmare Cove. Okay, so next up are the Pirates of Nightmare Cove, and the pirates have a pretty cool miniature, kind of like Davy Jones-esque, though the sound on both sides sounds the same if I could click it all the way over. But that's fine. The fact that it makes sound is what's important to me. The components are really cool, but we're not judging the components. I like this one here, Ship's Captain. You can put your wizard in a occupied spot by your own unit. That doesn't happen often, and that can help you out in a bind. This is my favorite though. The cannon guy is shooting into the spot that's adjacent, and he doesn't have to move, but he can add his dice on there. And if you lose the battle, he doesn't go to the underworld. That's pretty darn cool. And look at those pirates. They're kick-ass. I like them. And the next one we have here is the Atlanteans. Okay, from blue clan to blue clan, you got the Atlanteans, and I like them just a little bit more. Their miniature I like a little bit more, and their stats and more of their powers I like a little bit more. Alchemist, when you use your wizard to perform an action, you may substitute potions to play any resource cost. I like having another wild option, which is very, very cool. Getting those potions may be something that you look out for, especially with the Atlanteans. When you regroup, if you have 3 or more workers in Eldervale, you may advance 1 space on the glory track. I use that so much in solo play, and I think I won a lot of times because of that. Super cool power. I think it's underrated, so if you like, I think battling, this is actually going to help you out getting up to the glory track just by having your workers out. But you definitely want to have workers out and not dwell. Put a dwelling out in the beginning of the game. It's kind of a balancing act. Again, the Croc has 1 sound, but his miniatures is so fantastic. Really cool clan, but they sit here at number 8. Let's go over to the next one. Oh, look out. Mossward Trolls are up next. Okay, so number 7 are the Trolls. And they beat out the Elves, which thematically I like Elf race, but these guys are pretty darn good. The sound of their miniature is more beast-like, but still kind of growing in the forest. Now, look, this one here is Vicious Beast. When your dragon is in battle, you may re-roll any dice that results in a 1. I love being able to re-roll any low things or flip them to a specific face, which makes these guys pretty good. But regeneration, at the end of your turn, if your warrior is in the underworld, you may move it to an unoccupied realm. That is the reason why these guys are so high. Again, I like getting supplies and making sure my units are on the board to just run house, basically. So that's why these guys are up at number, was it 7? And now let's move over to the next one. Flying in next is the Born Avions. Okay, next are the Skyborns, and they're pretty high up here at number 6. I like them, and those pieces, those dice, they are second favorites. I mean, they're beautiful, but green always takes it, but so close, very, very pretty. But we're not here for the pieces, Dave, remember. Okay, so we're here for the powers. I like this one here. When you place your warrior in any realm, or move to a new realm, gain 1 sword. That's pretty nice. It's not overpowering, but this is why I like it. Your workers have flight dragons. Yeah. And it's only 2 extra spaces, but sometimes you're in a bind and you want to put a dwelling at a place that's just too far away. This is crucial. I like making dwellings. That's one of my favorite things about the game. I like battling too, but you can do either one with this, I think. So they're pretty cool. Their mascot, their miniature is pretty interesting, very pokey. Ow, very, very pokey. Okay, so let's move over to the next one. Next up to bat is Clerics of the Dawn. Okay, so number 5, my favorite number, are the Clerics. I always like priests in the fantasy realm. I play the priest in a lot of MMOs, so I fancied this crew just based on that, but I do like their power too. Now, but this was the hardest one for me to pick a miniature for, because both of them have a dragon, and, well, neither of them have a griffin. So I decided the griffin would go with the Clerics. Now, what are the Clerics' powers? Glorious Demise. When your dragon is sent to the underworld, 1 VP, that not too big of a deal, but this is why I like them. At the end of your turn, you may return 1 of your workers from the underworld to the ready area. If 1 goes to the underworld, that's a big deal, because you don't get to put them on your tableau. Now you get to put them in the ready area and the tableau again. Very cool, thematic, because he's raising them up from the dead. Very cool. The pieces are okay, but yeah, it's really strong sitting here at number 5. Now, let's go on to the next. And who do we have next? It's the Pride of the Bassette. Okay, so back-to-back colors again. Now, the Pride of Bassette, they're cats. I mean, look, Miko, she loves, that's probably her favorite one. But these guys are cool for their powers, of course. Choose to prevent a monster from rushing into your realm occupied by your wizard. That might be good, because sometimes you don't want that monster rushing in, especially the purple ones that disease you and kill you no matter what. This one here is why I like them though. Drawn to the light. When you place your warrior in and trigger a battle, you may choose a unit in any adjacent realm. That unit joins the battle for you. So you can pick your opponents to help join your battle and then make sure they go to the underworld. That is so freaking cool, and I utilize that so much during competitive play. They're good at competitive and solo play, and I think they take the dragon miniature here, and I mean, look at that. They're so cool. And that is that. Alright, let's go on to the next one. And the next one is Wardens of Evenmarch. Okay, so number 3 here are the Wardens, and they are a solid clan. Their miniature makes this kind of growly sound. He looks pretty cool and almost like a samurai almost. I like him quite a bit, but that's not why we're here. Let's go over the powers. Diplomat, your wizards may teleport into a realm unoccupied by an unoccupied opponent unit. Doing so does not trigger a battle. So basically, you're just not triggering a battle. When your warrior is in battle, you may set your dice to 5. If the warrior joined the battle, you may set your dice to 6, and that is the main reason why I like this clan, because getting 5s and 6s are crucial in this game when you're battling, taking over these big giants, beating your opponents. It's just really important, at least for me, the way that I play. So the Wardens do a great job at that, in addition to having a type of non-battle if you want to be passive. But it's funny that the white characters are up at the top and at the bottom here. So let's move on to the next one. Oh, Storm Horde is the next one up. We are almost to the very top, but right before we get there, number 2 soars in, the Storm Horde with the Living Storm character. Oh, I like that sound too. Okay, their art is fantastic, but again, we're here for the good stuff. This right here is what really makes this clan one of my favorites. Plunder. When you place your dragon in an elemental realm, collect 1 additional treasure token. Oh, that has helped me out so much and may be the strongest power in the game. I don't think it's game breaking, but it definitely is super strong. Valkyrie here, your warriors may join a battle from any realm or the underworld. If you are returning from the underworld, you have to pay 3 swords. That's pretty pricey, but returning them from the underworld can be important, and any realm to add 2 dice, that might help you out in the end. But very, very great clan, but there's one that is better. Let's go to that right now. Up next we have, what was that, a shadow person? The Shadow Demons. And my favorite is Shadow Demons. It's pretty funny because my list is sandwiched by the black characters. The Night Queen is my least favorite, and the Shadow Demons are my favorite. And this miniature definitely encapsulates, and he is the mascot for the Shadow Demons without a doubt, and he's really cool. Let's go over what their powers are and why I like them so much. Their design is really neat, and they have like this evil pterodactyl behind them. So rise from the shadows. When you place your dragon in Eldervale, you may choose one of your units in the underworld and return it to your ready area. That is amazing. I love just getting stuff back into my ready area so I can get more supplies and currency to buy stuff. And then the Death Knight, just such a cool move name. When your warrior goes to the underworld, you may place an earned sword above. Each grants a permanent bonus. So I mean, that is badass. They are a little bit of an all-around character. I think the thing that they are weak with is movement. They really can't sprawl like some other clans may be able to, but they can fight really well and they can get supplies quickly. So that's why I like them so much. Their design's really cool, their miniature's great, and they just won me over. I play as these guys a lot when I go into competitive mode. They do work pretty well in solo as well. So now to my final thoughts. So that's what I think about all the races, and I would love to know, if you've played this game, what your favorite one is down below in the comments. Please let me know. Now, if you haven't picked up this game and you want to, it's going to be in a website down in the description below. Just go there. You can pick up one of the 3 versions if you want, standard, deluxe, or legendary, which this one is legendary copy. Again, thank you so much, Breaking Games, for being partners with us. Really do appreciate it. And Vine Nation, please click like and subscribe if you like this video. Until next time that I see ya, have a great rest of your day and a great time with all you play. My name is Dave, and you heard it here on the Game Vine. Bye. Vine Nation, we love making content here for you on the channel, and we're almost at 15,000 subscribers, so subscribe now and help us out. This video right here, I think you'll like. This video right here, YouTube thinks you'll like. Or you can just sit here and watch me dance as a dinosaur for a little bit longer. You can visit us at our social media outlets, and we're going to be improving our Patreon here soon. That's all for today. Miko, it's time to go. Good girl, Miko.